Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back on my series on Rahu Transit 2017. And as we all know, that this is a very important transit because Rahu is a very malefic planet, and we are all very scared of it. And it stays in one zodiac sign for 18 months while it's transiting. So we did discuss about Rahu's transit into the zodiac sign of Cancer and Leo in our previous videos, and now we will today discuss what are the effects which will be felt by people whose moon sign is Virgo, and how Rahu is going to behave for them in the next 18 months. As we know that Rahu did move into the zodiac sign of Cancer from Leo as it moves backwards on August the 18th, and it's going to stay there for another 18 months. So if you look at the chart in front of you, you will see that number 6 is mentioned in the first house, Lagna, and you may get confused just by looking at it, thinking that we are discussing about the Virgo ascendant people or people whose zodiac sign falls in the first house. No, we are going to be discussing about this transit of Rahu for the next 18 months for people whose moon sign is the zodiac sign of Virgo, which means that if you open up your natal chart and if moon is placed where number 6 is written, which is the zodiac sign of Virgo, then this video is for you. Because transits, or gochara as it's called in Sanskrit, as per the ancient Vedic astrological scriptures, should only be considered from the moon, not from the ascendant. However, there are different opinions on this. Several astrologers have quoted several scripts or several books written by ancient scholars as well, who have described the effects of Rahu or any other planet for that matter from the ascendant when it transits. So there are effects mentioned, and some astrologers thereby recommend that you should look at it from the ascendant as well, but I will tell you that I don't guarantee that. It could be true in certain cases, but according to the ancient scriptures, ancient Vedic authentic scriptures, transits or gochara should always be seen from the moon, okay, or the moon sign. So today we'll be talking about what will be the effects of Rahu if your zodiac or if your moon sign rather is the zodiac sign of Virgo. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, consider number 6 as your moon sign where your moon is placed, and Rahu's transit into the zodiac sign of Cancer would mean that it has moved into your 11th house. So according to the ancient scriptures, it is a good placement of Rahu in the 11th house, especially while it's transiting. Okay, so what are the effects which will be felt? You can see 11th house is a high house of income, just like 12th house is a house of expenditure, 11th house is a house of income. So it was all negative for people whose zodiac sign is Leo, as we discussed. Not zodiac sign again, the moon sign was Leo, as we discussed in our last video about the effects of Rahu to them. And in their case, when the zodiac sign was Leo, the transit of Rahu would be in the 12th house from the natal moon, which was not good, and we discussed that in detail in the last video. But today, as we see that for the moon sign, I keep saying zodiac sign, for the moon sign of Virgo, this transit is going to be extremely beneficial, okay, because Rahu will move into the 11th house, and the 11th house is a house of gains, it's a house of incomes. So you can expect all kind of auspicious things happening as far as your income is concerned, as far as your finances are concerned, okay, as far as your fulfillment of desires is concerned. Okay, so you have 18 months now to start new ventures, start a new job, get into marital relationships, also get into some kind of a romantic relationships. The fulfillment of desires is going to be coming very strongly through the planet Rahu for the moon sign Virgo people for the next 18 months starting August the 18th, 2017. Okay, and You can even acquire some landed property, and you can buy some jewelry during this time. Your domestic life will also be good. Okay, generally your domestic life is going to be good in this particular case. However, there may be slight conflicts with your spouse. Although the domestic life generally will be good, but there may be slight conflicts with your spouse, so please be very careful for the next 18 months as far as relationship with your spouse is concerned. Okay, business will be good, but at the same time be cautious. Do not be overly confident. There'll be income, but this is a good time to start new ventures, but with a little caution, I would say. Okay, there will be all kinds of travel, especially travel to foreign countries and for business trips overseas, and there's a very, very good possibility of gains through foreign associations, business associations and trades and all kinds of stuff which is related to business with a foreigner. Okay, so this time is going to be very, very beneficial for that. But once again, although it will be beneficial, I'm warning that do not go overboard. Do it with a lot of caution. And the size of this video is very small for me to go into details and explain why am I saying that. But income, business will be good, and especially good from foreign associations and foreign collaborations, even domestic as well, but with a little caution. Okay, so like I said, I'm limited by time. I cannot go into details why I'm saying that. Similarly, domestic life is going to be good, but at the same time, relationship with the spouse has to be taken very, very carefully. Okay, you should be very careful in dealing with your spouse in this 18 months. Although overall it's going to be good, that I can tell you. Relationship with your other relatives and friends will be great. You will make new friends, and you can make friends again from countries overseas as well, and even domestic. That's a good time for socializing as well. So all the things which I'm mentioning to you will be good. Also, as far as your diseases are concerned or health issues are concerned, this 18 months for the moon sign of Virgo people will be excellent. You can recover from some kind of chronic illnesses which you've been able to recover, or in cases where your disease was not diagnosed properly, in this 18 months it will be diagnosed by doctors, and there's a good possibility of recovery as well. So as far as health is concerned, excellent period for you. And overcoming your diseases or coming out of a long lasting chronic illness, that is also very clearly shown for Virgo moon sign people in this 18 months transit, which started from August the 18th 2017. So recovery is the key word here. That's a very, very good time. Okay, marriage will happen for people, but again, a little word of caution, that just like I mentioned, that domestic life will be good, life with spouse will be good, but with a little caution. Similarly, marriage and romantic relationships will be good, but with a little caution. If you're getting into some kind of a marital relationship, then make sure the birth charts are matched properly before you enter into those marital vows, so as to say. Okay, socially very good time. Your interest in spiritual field is also going to be high. So overall a very, very auspicious time for you. Now, having said that, I don't want to make you totally overconfident. You should also look at your dashas, what kind of dashas are operating for the moon sign of Virgo people for the next 18 months. If those dashas are very good and favorable for you, then of course this will be a double positive impact. But in case the dashas are not favorable for you, then many of the positive impact of this Rahu transit for Virgo moon sign people can be slowed down to some extent. Okay, so dashas are very important. Look at the Vimshotri dashas, look at the Rashi dashas. There are several Vimshotri dashas, conditional dashas, also, which is another nakshatra dasha, by the way. And look at different Rashi dashas. A lot of astrologers make this mistake, that they just look at one dasha and ignore the other dashas. There are a approximately 42 nakshatra dashas itself, which have been given to us by the sage, the great sage Parashara. And then of course on top of that there are Rashi dashas, which are given to us by other sages, you know, based on the teachings of Gemini. We can find out other dashas, Chara dashas and Narayana dashas, different dashas. So I'm not saying go into all those dashas, but at least 2 or 3 dashas have to be taken into consideration. And also look at transits for other planets. So in case this transit of Rahu for the moon sign of Virgo people is very favorable, and in case Saturn is not favorable, then of course it's going to nullify the positive effects. Or if Jupiter is not favorable, then it's going to nullify or, you know, bring down the auspicious time of 18 months to not be as fruitful as it was if other dashas were not unfavorable. So I mean, just don't look at what I'm trying to say is that don't look at the dasha of Rahu, look at the dasha of other planets as well. This is an axis of Rahu and Ketu, which will be on an 11-5 axis, because we know that if Rahu moves into your 11th house in this transit, then Ketu is also going to be moving into the zodiac sign right opposite to it. Okay, so Ketu is going to be moving into your 5th house from your natal moon, and that also has to be taken into consideration, because Ketu's placement into the 5th house from the natal moon is not all that great. But overall, you know, Rahu's effect is going to prevail, and you can expect good results. But like I said, look at transits, look at dashas, and then come to a final conclusion. And Rahu is a very tricky planet, so just because Rahu is moved into your 11th house from natal moon does not mean fulfillment of all desires. Like I said, you have to be very, very careful. Although it will be positive, but don't just take it for granted. So hopefully you enjoyed this video on Rahu transit for Virgo moon sign people, which started from August the 18th, 2017 for the next 18 months. And in the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel and check out my website. There is a link below, and I will see you with an interesting topic in Vedic astrology in my next session very soon. Goodbye.